Hi, my name is Peter Lebroy. I'm lucky enough to live in Bude in Cornwall, and right behind me you can see Summerleys Beach and people having a good time in the sea and so on. You might have noticed that I'm wearing a neck brace, and I'm going to talk to you very quickly about the reason why I'm wearing this neck brace, what it is, and perhaps if you've suffered an accident or you've had some surgery or have a neck problem and you are having to wear an Aspen Vista neck brace, perhaps some of what I might say might be of interest and may even be helpful to you. So, excuse me, last weekend, which is the weekend, well, it's the 31st of August 2024 today. Last weekend I was having a surfing lesson with my 3 adult children and their partners, all having a lovely time. I managed to topple off my surfboard and go headfirst into shallow water, a big no-no, and I heard my neck go crunch and snap, and I lost all sensation in my right arm. I was hauled out of the water by my son-in-law, which was great. The surf school company looked after me immediately and did a really good job on that. And they took me up to Stratton Hospital Minor Injuries Unit, literally straight away. I was hardly dry out of the sea. And the Minor Injuries Unit immediately recognised that there was a potential danger to me because I'd potentially done some damage to my neck. They immobilised me straight away. They laid me flat out on a hospital bed. Well, not a full hospital bed, but one of the temporary ones that they do treatment on in minor injuries units. And they secured my head in place, called an ambulance, and I was taken immediately, again all within 3/4 of an hour, 40 minutes or so, up to Barnstable Hospital, where I was admitted to accident and emergency. I was given a CT scan fairly quickly, and they deduced that I'd fractured my C6 vertebra. A very minor fracture, nothing too bad, but something that they felt they needed to immobilise me for straight away. I spent the night overnight in the ward up in Barnstable, and they couldn't let me go until a physiotherapist had fitted me with this collar properly and trained my wife in the aftercare, which I'll just talk a bit very briefly about now. But the collar itself, and by the way, the minor fracture, I'm going to have an MRI scan on Friday this week, and we hope that minimal damage has been done, that perhaps just a few weeks in this will sort things out, no surgery required, so that's all great. But anyway, the collar itself was fitted to me in the hospital. It's one of these things that looks probably a lot worse than the reality. It's incredibly lightweight, it's incredibly well made. It's got this little twisting dial here, moves the chin piece up and down, which obviously keeps your head more stable the higher it is. The back of it literally velcros on to the front part, and it just keeps your head very, very stable. So I've got absolute confidence in this device to make sure that I'm not going to overextend my neck or head until it's properly healed. These little foam pads are replaceable. The hospital gave me 2 of these neck collars and 2 sets of pads. I've got to wear this 24/7, even in the shower. The instructions on these say do not shower in them, but the physiotherapist at the hospital said it's perfectly okay to shower in it, which I do. I can wash my hair, sort of wash all around my face underneath, and then I come out of the shower, dry off. My wife Claire whips the collar off while I'm sitting in a chair, absolutely still. Just gives me a little pat dry and makes sure there's no soap or residue left under this area, and then puts the collar back on, and I'm good to go for another day. Now you can see it's a lovely sunny day here in Bude. It's probably 20 plus degrees, absolutely wonderful, but this is not sweaty or horrible. It's perfectly okay to wear. It's a bit of an irritation that your head is held stiff, but to be honest, I'm 5-6 days in now and I've got used to it. It really isn't a problem at all. So life with this collar is perfectly acceptable. Obviously I'll be very glad when it comes off, but if I had to wear it for a very long term, it wouldn't faze me even after just 6 days of being in it. It's more the fact that I can't, one of the problems I suppose I do have is I can't communicate with people using my head. I didn't realise that I nod and shake my head and dip my head, and I use my I didn't realise how much I used my head as a form of expression, which anyone that goes into one of these collars probably will realise very quickly. And it's also quite disconcerting when you're talking to people, when you're looking at them with a fixed stare, and obviously you have to twist your whole body to look away. So it does make communication a little bit odd, but nothing that people don't understand. But anyway, I'm able to get around and about. I can do everything I normally would do, apart from I'm not allowed to drive. The physiotherapist said that I wouldn't be insured. I obviously wouldn't do anything like riding a bike or doing anything other than walking fairly carefully, but you can see behind me I've walked over the cliffs and across the beach to get to this point, and I feel perfectly confident. But the only thing I have done is, on top of this, I've bought one of these hiking poles that you can buy from most high streets. I think it cost me 12 quid. I don't feel I really need it, but what it does do is, because you can't look directly down, you have a little bit of when you're first starting out, you can't be absolutely confident what you're going to be stepping on. So a little hiking pole or a walking stick, I think, is probably a really good idea, because it just gives you the confidence to feel where the ground is when you're moving around. But anyway, if you have been diagnosed with a neck injury and you have to wear one of these things, it certainly isn't the end of the world. I think it's incredibly well designed. It's incredibly easy to wear. It probably looks a lot worse than the reality of wearing one of these things is. And I wish you a speedy recovery if you've come onto this having searched for Aspen Vista, which I think is a great product, and no idea who makes it or where they're made, but it's an incredible product, and it's certainly keeping me going and good until I have my MRI scan and further investigation. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon. Might give you an update in a week or so after the MRI.